I'm back. I'm biased, I'm bothered, and I am always unfiltered. If you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. You still haven't managed to worthy up. Not to worry, let's get into this mess. We have got another exclusive from Christine Brown, and this time it's from People magazine, which I will actually leave linked below. Anyway, Christine goes on. I feel like there's a rest of the story that wasn't told before. Christine tells People exclusively. Even though I really feel like our show did our best to be authentic and everything, I still felt like there was a huge part that I kept hidden just to be a peacemaker, to make everything work. And then, through leaving, people ask me all the time, how did you do it? How did you do it? The author continues, which is basically what we all want to know. Anyway, she goes on. I knew Cody wouldn't come to my house if the kids weren't well behaved, the food wasn't what he liked, and the house wasn't clean and decorated to his taste. Dinner was ready, usually when he arrived, but he was picky about what he ate. He liked only basic foods. It was all steak, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and spinach. I usually had to make a different meal for the kids. And then Gwendolyn was a vegetarian, so it would be 3 meals. It would get complicated, especially if he didn't tell me he was coming in advance, which happened often and was one of our biggest fights. I needed to plan, and he felt I was trying to control him. I would lose my goddamn mind if anybody just like appeared at my house, expecting me like to drop everything and do what they wanted to do. I would lose my goddamn mind. Anyway, she goes on. I wanted him to feel comfortable and relaxed while he was in my home. But it's funny to think about now. We all had the same job. The four wives handled childcare, shopping, cooking, and housework, and we each made sure the house was comfortable for Cody when he came over. Somehow, Cody was the busiest of all of us. Of course he was. Of course he was. This guy, do you know what? This guy. Anyway, she goes on. Then something happened that made everything that had come before the eternal commitment. The moment he told me he loved me after our trip to Nauvoo. Oh, we've only just been in Nauvoo in our recap. My identity as a wife feel like a farce. The sister wives wrote a book together, published in 2012. For the book, Mary, Janelle, Cody, Robin, and I each talked separately to a writer. I knew there was a writer involved in this because I know that Robin can't do shy. I know the woman can't do anything on her own. I knew that there was a writer involved in that book. Anyway, who then weaved the story of our early years together, as well as Robin's integration into the family. Talking with the writer took me straight back to my 20s when I was young and crushing on Cody and admiring Cody and Mary as a couple, so pre Janelle too. Cody had a different memory. Before we got married, Mary, Cody, and I had got caught in a snowstorm while driving from Salt Lake to Wyoming with a group of people for a retreat at Cody's parents' house. That would be so weird, wouldn't it? Like just going off like with a couple that you're interested in the husband, and you're just going off with the husband and the wife like to his parents. That's just so weird to me. Anyway, I loved seeing his family, and I felt like our bond as friends had grown stronger. We'd been in the car for hours after having to pull over and spend the night on the side of the road. Where did they go to the toilet? They're the questions that I have. I wonder like what the sleeping arrangements was. Anyway, she continues. I was starving, and we ended up at a gas station. Ooh, I know what's coming. I ate a lot of junk food back then, and chili cheese nachos were my favorite thing. The sight of this chubby girl in my car devouring chili cheese nachos for breakfast put the brakes on our relationship, Cody wrote in the book. Are you serious? I thought after reading the draft. You were disgusted with me when I ate nachos and you weren't attracted to me? Why did you marry me? This is what you tell the world about your wife. You're in your 40s when you absolutely know how hurtful it would be, or you should know. In becoming sister wives, we found out stuff about each other that we didn't know. And it was brutal. Well, that's putting it mildly. That is putting it mildly. I knew Janelle and Mary had struggled, but I didn't know the details. It felt heartbreaking reading the book. I'm not surprised, I'm really not. Oh, hang on a sec. McKelty read it and she called me right after. I had no idea Dad felt that way about you, she said. She was so upset. I would be furious. I would be furious if my father said anything about my mother like that, okay? But if he put it in a book and then he repeated it on TV, oh my God. Oh my God, I just wouldn't be able to cope with something like that. Anyway, she goes on. So McKelty was furious. I was too. We had been married for about 18 years when I read the book, and I didn't know Cody had never been attracted to me. I felt so humiliated. The whole world knew almost before I did, and now my kids knew too. Do you know what? This guy is such a piece of shit. He knew like that his kids were going to read that. And okay, even if he wasn't attracted to Christine, okay, he's a prick for doing that, but even if he wasn't attracted to her, and even if he wanted to tell her that, fair enough, okay? But to make it so that everybody knew, like his children knew, all of these kids like have known this now, how their father like feels about their mother. I can't even imagine it, I really can't. Anyway, she goes on. On camera, in front of the sister wives, Cody says, I was not attracted to Christine in any kind of physical sense. You can see the hurt on my face, even as I initially tried to make a joke of it. You are not attracted to Christine, the host repeated back. That's an understatement, Cody replied. Yikes. Janelle's face, Robin's face, horrified. I tried to smile through it, but it came out as more of a grimace. Oh, Cody, gee, we just never know what he's going to say. Why did you say you love me? Why did you propose to me? If you love me now, why would you hurt me so publicly? A knife to the kidneys. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this petty bit of like Christine. After this like really intense traumatic experience that she's telling us about, I love that she's after saying that. Anyway, she goes on. He played it off like it was a tragedy that he had to marry me. That wasn't the tragedy. The tragedy was that he kept me from someone who would love me. The tragedy was that the narcissism of it, ooh, she's saying it, the belief that I wouldn't have moved on if he had laughed and said he wanted to keep me as a friend. You're really putting this in a book. Cody later said he felt like he had to marry me because I was polygamy royalty, which we all know, okay? Anyway, it's because of her grandfathers. Had to marry me, why? Had to marry me because you thought it would make you look good while knowing that I would be eternally married to someone who didn't love me. I was heartbroken. You're a better woman than me, Christine, because I would have been absolutely and utterly infuriated with this guy. Anyway, that new bit of knowledge didn't help our relationship. No shit. That he humiliated me also didn't help. What else wasn't true? I felt as if I had been robbed of the ability to make a good life decision because he hadn't told me how he felt when he asked me to marry him. I also believed it was unfixable. Chemistry is there or it's not. That is actually true. But because I never had chemistry, I didn't understand how it was supposed to feel. I didn't know how it felt to be adored. Oh my goodness. He did his duty and stayed with me every fortnight. But staying the night didn't necessarily mean physical intimacy. We know. If Cody showed up just before bed and left as soon as he got up, it could feel like punishment. It definitely didn't feel like companionship. Do you know what? I know I have said that I hope that David Woolley is putting this woman through the goddamn mattress. My mindset has completely changed, okay? Because now I believe that it's Christine who is putting David through the goddamn mattress, and I hope she is, and I hope it's every night, and I hope the two of them are having a great time together. I really, really do. Anyway, that is Christine's new book. I can't wait to read the rest of it, but I wanted to read this out to you, and I will, of course, leave it down below, leave the link. It's for People magazine. Anyway, just wanted to let you know, and I hope you all are having a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.